Hey guys, John Crestani here. Now you're setting up the system, which is awesome, and super pumped because there's only a few steps to set up this system, but I want to make sure it is so crystal clear that you guys have everything you need to make sure that none of my students are falling off during this process. So the system is really easy. Now, the point you're at is you need to set up a website because you need to have a website to basically host your pre-sale pages. And you don't need to, there's zero coding involved. I want to make that clear. Zero programming, zero technical, anything involved, which is really cool. Now, what you're going to do, the first thing to set up a website is you need to have hosting. So I recommend Bluehost. So Bluehost just is the easiest hosting provider. I worked out a deal with them where they've made it really cheap for you guys to sign up. I think it's like a couple bucks a month or something like that it works out to. So it's really cheap to get started with Bluehost. I've included the entire setup process below this video. So you have literally step 1, step 2, step 3. Every step of the way, exactly where you click, exactly what you input, exactly what check boxes or whatever you select, it's all down below. So just follow the steps, and I've made it really easy to set up a website. If you have hosting and you know how to install WordPress and you know how to do all of that stuff already. You can ignore this. You can ignore this video if you want, if you already have that side of things figured out. But what I would suggest, if you have any little questions that come up, I would definitely suggest, follow the system and set up Bluehost, and I have everything laid out step by step by step by step by step. You have images, you have everything you need, you have resource links, etc. to sign up and get started with Bluehost. And Bluehost even gives you a free domain name, which is really exciting. So you'll just have your domain name. Now, what you choose for your domain isn't really important. You could use your name, you could use whatever. It doesn't really matter. You could say John's musings or John Crestani or whatever. Don't use your name if you don't want to use your name. It doesn't really matter. What we're using the website for is simply to host your pre-sale page on. So if you're promoting business opportunity offers, like I recommend, you could also say something like work from home news. I have a website called homebusiness.news. So it doesn't really matter. But either way, because nobody really looks at the URL, what people are going to be doing is they're going to be clicking on your ad when you set up everything. So don't worry, don't get hung up. It's very simple. Just follow the steps, set up your website, and then what we're going to do in the next step is we're going to set up ClickFunnels. So we're just going to install a ClickFunnels plugin to make sure everything connects so you don't have to do any programming and just connect it. So without further ado, let's set up your website, let's get your domain, and let's set up your hosting.